open to talk about the stigma of society's mindset. You've got bipolar disorder too. Mm-hmm. Can you please share?
Yeah, bipolar 2, you have hypomanic episodes and depressive phases. So hypomanic means you don't have full-blown psychosis, and it doesn't lead to the extreme manic phase, but you still have quite a lot of the characteristics: not sleeping for days and weeks, a lot of energy, thinking that you can achieve, these amazing things, lots of ideas. You can become very agitated, you can become quite aggressive. Then also the depressive phases as well. So I've got bipolar type 2. It took about 10 years to get formally diagnosed with bipolar. I had been suffering quite a lot with what they would call depression from about 12, 13 years old. I was in a really suicidal state, attempted suicide for the first time when I was 14 years old. I was on antidepressants and I was seeing psychiatrists and therapy and stuff like that with the adolescent team, but nothing seemed to be helping. And it makes sense because actually when you give someone an antidepressant who has bipolar, it can actually make you even more unwell. Triggers it. Yeah, it can set it off even more to the extreme. So a lot of trial and error with tablets, wasn't there?
Yeah. I've lost my brother at birth, my twin. I had domestic abuse around me constantly. I grew up in America where my family was always involved in toxic behaviour, whether it's alcohol abuse, drug abuse, physical abuse. We would often be on the run, so from house to house, from area to area. There was no stability, so I was always on edge.
From what age was that?
From start.
Or you can remember?
From as long as I can remember, it just continued to be a roller coaster.
When he was arrested, the day they came, from 5:30 in the morning up until about 12 o'clock that night. Yeah. So it was around about coming up to 12 o'clock in the night when the CPS decided that they're going to charge him with murder. They had enough evidence, they said, to charge him with the murder.
And how old was he at the time?
16 at the time. Yeah. I remember, when they made the decision, but they hadn't told him yet. Mm. And I had to try and keep my face straight so that, you get what I'm saying?
Don't break down
so
crying.
Not that I will break down at cry, so that he will read my face, and from reading my face, and he made, you understand what I'm saying? So when they said to him he's being charged with murder, I remember he went like that. And that nearly broke me. I
do try and get in the gym and do a bit of yoga, do a bit of Pilates, and that's mainly for my mental health.
Yeah.
As a person with a very fruitful life and stuff that's going on all the time and stuff like that, you don't realise how under the cosh you are and how intense it is and how under pressure you really are. I don't breathe as well. Yeah, I don't breathe.
Breathing's very important.
Yeah, breathing's very.
Inspiration generally comes from being with people in person. Yeah. So a lot of the time, working in tech and going back to the previous question, the social media mindfulness, or how to handle social media, it's actually referred to in the computing world. It's referred to as something called an imaginary community. Oh, wow. So you don't actually get the same feelings of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, all the happy hormones that you get from being with people in person. So being with people in person is a big thing of mine, even if it's to take myself away from work, be with the kids for the day. Yeah. That helps me a lot creatively.
So what did you do during COVID?
I was actually exempt during COVID. If you got more than 25 staff members, you didn't have to isolate. We stayed open the whole time, even just with customers coming into the store, and I could kind of see how they were. Everyone was scared. And for me, being in the shop, my first approach to people, which some people might say was the wrong approach, a few people have told me it was the wrong approach, I would shake their hand and I would offer them a hug.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
Unresolved childhood trauma. It's not something that can easily fade away. It's something that causes great stress, anxiety. It shows up in your relationships. It shows up in your love life, your work, your inner self, in your interactions. This is something that I discovered when going through counselling. Counselling is something that I strongly recommend to anyone and everyone. Reaching out is never easy, but healing is possible. It's on us to do the work. It's on us to reach out. This isn't something that's easy, but it's something that can be resolved. It can be worked through and worked on, but it takes daily efforts and professional help. I'd strongly, strongly recommend reaching out.